The potential to dramatically increase chickpea yields by up to 1 tonne per hectare has prompted Dalby grain grower Glenn Milne to make the relatively simple practice change of switching to narrow rows. Mr Milne has been hosting a series of pulse agronomy trials from which early data indicates that a move to 25cm row spacings significantly outperforms the yields available on 1 metre rows.
Last year our average yield on that country where the trial was about 3.1 tonne to the hectare. The trial average was the maximum yield was up over 4 tonne to the hectare. So an extra tonne to the hectare is pure profit. So I suppose our aim is to try and get up to that yield that the trial did. From the trial it showed the narrower the row spacing, the higher yield. So we halved our row spacing to 15 inches this year, which is about 37 centimetres. All I did was double planted them with our 30-inch planter to get our 15-inch row spacing.
Mr Milne farms approximately 600 hectares of highly fertile black soil country on the Jimbour Plain just north of Dalby. The trials on his block are funded through the Grains Research and Development Corporation's Queensland Pulse Agronomy Initiative, which involves collaboration between the Department of Agriculture, Fisheries and Forestry and the Queensland Alliance for Agriculture and Food Innovation. Chickpeas traditionally only yield an average of 1.2 tonnes a hectare in dryland broadacre conditions in Queensland. The small plot trials at Mr Milne's property achieved 4.7 tonnes a hectare using an advanced breeding line planted at 25cm and 50cm row spacings. Yields of 4.5 and 4.4 tonnes a hectare were also achieved using the commercially available varieties PBA Hattrick and PBA Boundary, both on 25cm row spacings.
We can show a distinct yield advantage by narrowing up your rows, and at 900 kilos per hectare difference between 1 metre and 25 centimetres, it's straight up $300 per hectare that benefit in reducing your row spacing. So there's still some questions about going to narrow rows and people being able to handle stubble with various planters and a few logistical things. But yeah, I think we've put it out there and it's got a lot of farmers thinking about how they might start reducing their row spacings.
The trials also revealed that narrow row spacings provide greater nitrogen fixation and the highest measurements for water use efficiency.
Performance has shown that we've grown our best crops after a legume, particularly chickpeas. Our sorghum crops do exceptionally well after chickpeas, and I think it's a combination of adding extra nitrogen, but it's the type of release of that nitrogen where it's not a sudden hit, it must be metered out as it's mineralised. Legumes are such an important part of our system. Nitrogen fertiliser is our biggest cost, and I suppose if we can get free nitrogen out of the air we can. So we're trying to maximise our yields with our legumes,